And okay, we are recording, and welcome to today's webinar from Accra, Ghana. Thank you so much for joining us today as we host the first event between Ghana and Spain to explore the various possibilities both countries offer and boost the bilateral relationships between Ghana and Spain. Be aware that the chat box is open for questions and comments, which can be found below your screen. However, by the end of the webinar, we will have a space for comments and questions. For those unfamiliar with me, my name is Ingrid. I am the Deputy Director of Global Chamber Accra and the owner of EXWA, Expand in West Africa, a consultancy firm, and management services company that aids foreign businesses in Ghana by offering tailor-made services. You can find more information about us, our services, our partners, and the projects that we partake in by checking our website and social media. All information can be found on the chat box. And of course, you are all welcome to contact me directly. So now I have good news and bad news that I would like to share with all of you. And I would like to start with the least positive news. Our dear Ruby Golo is leaving the executive director position, but she's staying as global advisor. As you all know, Ruby has done a great job setting up Global Chamber Accra, but it has come time to move on for her. Ruby now is very much focused on her own business, Global Trade Consult, a Ghanaian-based consultancy firm. Ruby, you are going to be missed by the entire global tribe. Your effort in ensuring the Global Chamber Accra success is very, very much appreciated. And I personally will miss you a lot. It has been a pleasure working next to you. Ruby, you are an amazing woman, intelligent and trustworthy, who really deserves a bright future. Also, thank you so much for everything you have done to put this webinar together, as without you, this would not have been possible. So now, please, Ruby, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Ingrid, for those kind words. I do appreciate that. So for today, I do have a few slides. I don't know, Cesar, if you're able to help project my slide, that would be great. Can we have a full screen? Okay. Thank you, Cesar, as always. So this is a little about me. Ingrid already said so in the introduction. So I'm the founder and CEO of Global Trade Consult, and I remain within the Global Chamber community as the global advisor. And I do have many years of experience in international trade and investment. And my passion mainly is to help businesses grow internationally. Next. So who are we? We are a consulting firm providing business advisory services, mainly to overseas companies interested in expanding into Ghana. You will agree with me that trade is not one way, it's two ways. And so we do support local businesses also looking to expand outside Ghana as well. Our services are, mainly tailored to meet the requirements of our clients, and that can range from us finding you a local partner, a distributor, an agent, or maybe basically you have a project going on in Ghana and you want somebody to help supervise those projects on your behalf. Next slide. So these are the list of the areas that we cover. Like I said, We provide business advisory services. We do market research. It could be sector research or product research. We do company incorporation and administration. We organize trade missions to Ghana and out of Ghana as well. If you have any special events that you want organized in Ghana, we can take care of that as well. If you're somebody who's never visited Ghana, and it's your first time, we're happy to put together a visit program, arrange meetings, and if required, we can actually accompany you to those meetings and add value. We do represent quite a number of foreign companies in Ghana as well. And one of the sectors that we really focus on is education. We act as agents for some international schools looking to recruit students from Ghana as well. Next slide. So for those who do not know Ghana, Ghana is actually divided into 16 regions. So that's what you have there. And I just, for the sake of time, I just want to highlight few sectors that there are lots of opportunities for people to explore. So we have the agro-processing, education and training, manufacturing, infrastructure, e-commerce, and of course, ICT. So anyone in this space, if you want more information, I'll be happy to take those questions and be able to help you to explore this market. So in ending, I want to leave some few tips for those looking to go global. I will say that prepare, prepare, and prepare. There's nothing like preparing when you are going into a new market. And starts the conversation. I mean, today's event is a very good platform for you to get to know somebody and follow those contacts, because you never know what will come out of those relationships. And of course, seek for expert advice. That is why we are here. Ingrid is also in similar consultancy services. So do ask for advice if you are not sure. Leave the assumptions at the door, I will say, and keep exploring. And of course, do well to find the right partner. And the key word is collaborate. It's all about collaboration, because no one person can do it all. But if you have somebody by you, you should be able to expand. So just to give you an idea of some of the clients that we represent across the globe, we do have clients in the UK, Portugal, Turkey, South Africa, Israel, etc., and of course the US as well. So those are my contacts. I'll put the full details in the chat box. Feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be on standby to take questions when it's time to do so. Thank you, Ingrid. Back to you.
Dear Ruby, thank you so much. Honestly, thank you from the entire Global Chamber Accra. We really hope to keep counting on your knowledge and your support, as you're an added value to any business. So now we move on, and I would like to welcome our guest, Global Chamber Barcelona, especially Yuka Nakasone, who has helped out putting up together this event. Thank you very much, Yuka, and I am sure you would love to say something to our dear audience.
Thank you, Ingrid, and thank you everybody for coming. And yeah, this is the first event between Accra and Barcelona, and I hope this is not the last, of course. Especially we have Ingrid there. And thank you very much, Ruby. You're one of the first ones I started to talk as I started to talk to Rune, who is here today to present. He's the global advisor from Barcelona as well. And we try to build this app for Barcelona, looking up Global Chamber Accra. And Victoria is here from London as well. And London is a big one. So we are going to try to be there. And thank you very much for the invitation. And thank you for coming, everybody, again.
Thank you so much, Yukan. We hope we can prepare and participate together in many more. So now, as the first speaker from Spain, we have René van Baardevik. I'm not sure I have pronounced it properly. René is the owner of Rebane International, a chemical trading distribution company that started in 1998 in Auckland, New Zealand. Currently, they have offices in Australia, the Netherlands, Venezuela, Niger, Israel, Uruguay, and Spain, where he's based. The chemical industry is a very interesting industry for West African markets, and mainly Ghana is an attractive country for chemical trade. Ghana's chemical industry is diverse and includes fertilizers, aluminum smelting, light manufacturing, furniture, paints, steel, cement, food processing, and textile. Let's hear firsthand what Rebane International has to offer and what has been René's experience in the industry as we come today with a very knowledgeable professional with a broadened experience here today with us. So René, welcome and thank you very much for participating.
Okay, thank you very much, Ingrid. And you pronounced my name well. My last name, of course, is a little bit more difficult. I'm originally from the Netherlands, as you probably find out, but I've been living in Barcelona, Spain, for the last 23 years. Besides running the company Rebane International, as Yuka said, I'm also a global advisor for the Global Chamber in Barcelona. And although in Spain we are not so active yet, especially thanks to Yuka, who joined last year, we really are trying to give it a push this year. And as the Global Chamber is expanding also in other parts of Europe, I think in the next few years, we're going to see a lot more interaction between the Global Chambers here in Europe, as well as with other continents, just like Africa. Now, on Rebane International, as Ingrid said, we are a chemical or raw material supply company. We started 25 years ago when I was living in New Zealand, so on the other side of the world. I'm one of the founders, together with my business partner, who's a New Zealander, obviously. And I relocated back to Europe, to Spain about 24 years ago. And ever since, as Ingrid said, we have various offices, and the Spanish office is sort of responsible for sales and exports to Latin America as well as Africa. And so we have quite a bit of experience in doing business with Africa. Of course, now we're talking Africa, we're talking 54 countries. So it's a huge continent, and every country has its different needs. We are active supplying raw materials for areas such as the coatings, paint industry, but also food, pharmaceutical, leather industry. It's quite diverse. Ghana is definitely a big market for it. Traditionally, the European supply companies have been quite strong in West Africa. Obviously, if you look at how the boats are sailing from major ports like Rotterdam, Antwerp, Barcelona, they usually first go via Western Africa. Traditionally, especially the former French colonies, let's say, still have a very strong advantage of doing business with European supply companies if we are able to offer with a Euro 1 certificate. So at the moment, I would say we're supplying some 20 to 22 countries in Africa. We work with a group, depending on the countries. In some countries, we work with some bigger end users. In some other countries, we are working with agents that are in contact with direct end users in the country, and who send us their inquiries, which we then try to supply, not only from Spain, by the way, but from the whole of Europe as well as Asia. I would say those are the two major suppliers at the moment of our raw materials into Africa. And it's obviously it's a growing business. Africa every year is getting more important for us as little by little Africa is taking manufacturing more and more in its own hands as their home market is developing, and there becomes a bigger need for a lot of raw materials which are nowadays produced in Africa itself. So while of course Africa has a whole range of raw materials, there are also always products that still needs to come from outside. And I believe that Ghana in the last 10 years or so has developed a very big chemical distribution market. And we are very interested in it. And I see we have quite a few participants here on this forum, and especially those that are from Ghana. I would be very interested in learning more. If you see any possibilities there, if you have some context that could be of interest for us, where you can intermediate, or maybe you are a direct buyer of some raw materials. As I say, our product group, I could, I was thinking about doing presentation, and I could send you a list of 300-400 different products, but I don't think that's very attractive to show. It can definitely be given, if you are interested in contacting me later on, and I can send you a slide presentation, or you can just visit our website. I also left it in the chat group, our group website. So all in all, I believe there's a huge possibility to further strengthen our relationship with Ghana and potential Ghanese customers. And Global Chamber Forum obviously is a perfect way, since it offers us an opportunity to have some people that we can trust and work with on the other side. And I think that's the personal contacts on the African continent, just like here in Spain, are still very, very important in order to earn each other's trust. And that's usually the basis for starting a business relationship. So with that, I'll leave it. Thank you very much. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, René. Really appreciate your input. For anybody interested in starting, I don't know, a way of funding synergies or collaborations with René, at the beginning of the chat box, I think René has left his e-card, where you can find his detail. If not, just please don't hesitate to just approach him directly in the private chat right now. So thank you again, René. Now I am going to introduce someone very, very special to me. He's not just the CEO of one of the most renamed industries in Ghana, but he's also a brother to me. Nadim Ghanem, CEO of a group of companies in Ghana, and someone with a broader knowledge doing business in Barcelona. Nadim, as someone with wide experience in both countries, we would love to hear from you your input on what sectors are currently boosting between Spain and Ghana, and what to expect when doing business in Spain and when doing business in Ghana, the main challenges and the main challenges encountered. Please, Nadim, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Ingrid, and thank you for the introduction. I've had the chance to be able to do business in Ghana, in construction, in manufacturing and trading, and in Spain in technology and business development. Both I've had the chance to be able to expand regionally and internationally. So in Spain, I was running a digital marketing and big data analytics company that we were able to expand it from China to Chile, passing through the whole of Europe and Turkey and the Middle East. And later we had a big investment bank that joined us. Before that, I was doing road construction and trading in the north of Ghana, in Tamale and Wa and the whole north. This is a company that belonged to my family business, where we try to innovate with new ways of construction. And then then I went to Spain. This is where I did the first. And then after that, I came back to Ghana in 2015, where I renovated, let's say, my family business in the manufacturing part, which we do, where we do recycling and manufacturing of plastic products, metal products, and precision parts. And then also we are into trading of beverage and other services also. Also, I represent Indra, which is one of the largest technology companies in Spain that gives the various services here in Ghana. Now, when you are saying about coming in and the opportunities that are available for Europeans or Spaniards in Ghana, for me, there's a world of opportunities. We have to understand that Ghana is a country full of entrepreneurs and people that want to really develop themselves and that want to find something unique for them to bring in value. But we can go from very commoditized items like what Mr. Van der Riet was explaining, to help the industry, repackaging, mixing, remixing, in chemicals or in agro-processing. But also, we can also enter into Ghana with services like we have today Glovo that has developed in Ghana. We have technology companies that sell technology. You can see now banks and other institutions taking software solutions in AI and many other technologies. And at the same time, as I said before, you have the basic part that still needs a lot of market. Today, although we think that Africa is not protected in terms of taxes, yes, it is. Today, when you buy raw materials into Ghana, you pay 5% duty on them, whereas if you buy finished products, you pay 20% duty. And then also the transportation and everything gives a really wide protection for the manufacturing. We all manufacturers like to cry that this is what we are all growing and all developing. There's not a single manufacturing company in Ghana that is not updating itself and growing, and there is a lot to be done. In construction, you have new ways of construction. For example, ourselves, we have started doing plastic blocks, which was something that, and now we're looking at affordable housing, into that. There are so many technologies into that. In the electrical, into energy, you have a lot of switch now from the traditional energy coming from the line to self-sufficient houses that are disconnected from the grid, or connected, let's say, in a way, but using solar power or wind power. So we have to understand that there's lots of opportunities into the country. But the most important thing for you to be able to come into the country, as Ruby was saying earlier, is prepare yourself, remove the expectations out, and be guided. Find somebody that will take you and walk you around, show you, and you start grasping and understanding the information by yourself. But don't let somebody just take you, show you what he wants to show you, because also we, as in Ghana, we're very good making you walk the areas that we want you to walk and show you what we want to show you. Let somebody with a broader agenda that doesn't have an interest in your product in particular walk you around and show you. Many companies we have helped ourselves were just guided by one distributor that wanted only to show him what he wanted to show him, and was, in a way, didn't get a proper idea of what the market was or what he had to sell and how he had to sell it. And this really helps to work with a consultant that will give you a broader way and will help you on that level. I'm very reachable. I will put my contact details here. If anybody needs any explanations or anything, I'm happy to help. Also, Ingrid will also help. Also, if I want to give an advice on my travel from Ghana to Spain, so it was a big change for me. So I moved from Ghana after 10 years of working in Ghana. I went to Spain. I did an MBA in the university in Barcelona, in ESADE, and that's from where I met a friend of mine, and we started up a company in technology and digital marketing. For us, at the beginning, I thought that I would never be, as somebody with African experience, be able to work in Ghana and sorry, in Spain, or with all that. Of course, there are some changes. There are some ways of dealing with people. There are some ways of what to expect from others that are different. But the experience I had in Ghana, the toughness of experience that I got in Ghana really made my sale easier, and I was able to see opportunities and things, because I came from a total different environment that people that lived in it were not able to see it. And so it's not something that one should be scared of in getting into the market. And there are so many products today that are, the raw material is in Ghana, is shipped to Europe, and in Europe it's sold at 20 or 30 times more expensive. So we should look at these opportunities of processing things in Ghana, packaging them correctly, getting the simple standards of ISO and quality assurance, and then being able to export them to Europe, where it's a huge market that is 100 times bigger than the whole West African market and has huge opportunities. So today, we as a factory, we do packaging for cosmetics and for other products that come from Ghana and go to the US and the UK. And what we make sure is always to advise those entrepreneurs to make a packaging that is equal to Nivea's packaging, not like some cheap packaging. So it's one of the biggest things, and it brings a lot of advantage and has really boosted their sales and that. So we believe really that there's a lot of opportunities into that. Thank you, and I'm available for any questions or clarifications.
Thank you so much, Nadim. Really, really appreciate. And as usually, I mean, I think there's nobody in the room who has not enjoyed listening to you. We are very lucky because we have one more speaker, and after that, we have the time for all of you to raise your hands and make questions and start a dialogue, which I'm 100% sure that many of you would like to have that kind of contact with our speakers. So let's move to our last speaker, who is Casa de Lingua. It is actually very difficult to do business without understanding each other, and Dornuki Aklo offers this kind of services. It may seem a simple task, but sometimes we forget that most failures come after a miscommunication. So please, Dornuki, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Caesar, could you please present my slide? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Dornuki Aklo, and I'm the Managing Director and co-founder of Casa de Lingua Limited. Before I start this presentation, I'd like to tell you a story. So in 2013, Chevrolet launched a new car model in Mexico called Nova. Interestingly, Nova in Spanish means it doesn't go or it doesn't move. And of course, I believe no one is going to invest money in the car that doesn't move. So obviously, it led to poor sales. The company was smart enough to rebrand the car as Chevy. And so what I'm here to do today is to show you how you can avoid that branding error. So I'll start by presenting our company. Our company is Casa de Lingua Limited, and we are a translation and interpretation company. And what we do is to help businesses scale up globally by bridging the language and cultural gaps. We also cater to local and international entities. Next slide, please. And our services include general and technical translation, language interpretation, website translation, and transcripts translation. And we offer our services in both international and Ghanaian languages. So we decided to add the Ghanaian languages to our languages to help investors. So for example, if you're an investor and you come to Ghana and you want to introduce your products or your services. It's going to be difficult, of course, to communicate with the local people. And so this is just to facilitate communication between investors and the locals. Next slide, please. And so I know you'd be wondering why you should engage Casa de Lengua. Well, if you engage Casa de Lengua, seasoned linguists are going to provide you with accurate and precise translations. Would also help to facilitate your business deals, negotiations, and other interactions. Would help with your expansion into new markets and increase the appeal of products and services, allowing you to reach your global audiences. Would help to adapt the language needs of your products and marketing materials, meeting cultural conventions of the targeted audience. Would help to enhance your local and global image and reputation. And of course, once you've been able to work with people coming from different parts of the world, because you are engaging professional translators and interpreters, automatically you'll be demonstrating commitment to inclusivity and diversity. And so for want of time, I'm going to end my presentation with a short write-up, and the title is Like a Puzzle. So it says, translators and interpreters are like the missing puzzle pieces for companies. Without them, communication with clients and partners can be challenging. With them, companies can successfully fill in the language gap, creating a complete picture which will position them for global success. And so I would encourage all of you to engage professional translators and interpreters. These are my contact details, and I'm also going to leave them in the chat box. Feel free to reach out to me whenever you want to. Thank you very much. Muchísimas gracias. Ciao.
Muchas gracias a ti. Thank you so much. I don't know what the audience will be thinking about this, but I think it's so true. What you've been mentioning right now. I mean, there's many times we don't pay attention on how important the language or the culture is when doing business, and it's actually it's very important. And I mean, having you here with us and being able of helping many new businesses that may not have that wide experience in Ghana is a total top. So thank you so much. Now, at the beginning of today's webinar, I said I had bad and good news. So the good news come now, and is that Global Chamber Accra has met her new executive director, Gifty Akofa-Kuma. She's an experienced human resources professional and CEO of the HR Big Limited. Gifty, welcome to the Global Chamber Accra, and we would like to hear a few words from you.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. My name is Gifty Akofa-Kuma. Thank you, Ingrid, and thank you, everyone. Okay, so just as Ingrid said, I recently took on the role as an ED for Ghana, over from Ruby, who has been doing tremendously well over the past years. And I am looking forward to work and with support of Ingrid and then the members to continue to grow the chamber in Accra. I am an HR consultant. I have a company called the HR Big Limited. We support businesses in Ghana and businesses in West Africa, even businesses over the world who emerge into Ghana and West Africa, who want to make use of our services. We believe that a company is as good as its people when it comes to training them, when it comes to finding the right talent, when it comes to engaging the talents, just to understand where to reposition or position them. We also assist companies who emerge into the country, helping them to understand how the laws work in terms of if you want to go into contracting, employee contracts, we help you to understand. We have it under our solutions we call HR consultancy. So we help you in the HR audits. We help you to understand, basically, when you're hiring in Ghana, what it takes. We make it very easy for you to settle in when you're hiring, even for organizations or companies or individuals who want to work here, work with people and are not looking to set up an office. You are not looking to maybe have the whole complexity of a total company structure. We support you with what we call the outsourcing. It can be the HR outsourcing, it can be the labor outsourcing, or the payroll outsourcing. So we offer the entire 360 scope of HR, and I'll be happy to support members in Barcelona and non-members with our services as you are looking to invest in Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gifty, and hoping to work next to you for the next period of the Global Chamber Accra. Now, I would like to call on all of you, all the audience, for anybody who has questions, comments, anything that you would like to add. There are not many occasions where we find, professionals in the industry like René, Nadim, Dornoki. I don't know if there's anything that you would like. Please, the time is now. I would appreciate if you do not feel shy to raise your hand. And in the meantime, if nobody has questions, there is someone in the audience I would like to call. She's a communication expert. Victoria, is you? Yeah. So I would like to know if you have any recommendation, any suggestion on how to build better relationships between Spanish companies and Ghanaian companies. If there's anything that you would recommend us that we should pay attention when we are about to build a business relationship.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Ingrid, for asking me to come to the floor and share a few ideas. So a bit of context, I'm a communication and culture coach and trainer. So I help individuals and teams around the world with communication confidence and building up cultural intelligence as well, cultural intelligence capabilities. And I suppose in thinking about the context, the most important thing I think we have is when it comes to communication is starting with who are we talking to? Do we understand them? Do we understand what motivates them? What interests them? What is it that they are most interested in our business? So I always like to start with the who when exploring and thinking about communication. And then I'm really focused on, what's the one thing? If we only have one thing that we could possibly share about our business when we are talking to others who are not familiar with what we do, what is it that when it comes down to it, what's the one thing that we can share and why is that important? So those are just a few tips in terms of the kind of communication approach. But for me, this has been a massive learning experience as well. I'm really learning lots by listening to the speakers here today from both the Barcelona side and from Ghana as well. So thank you, Ingrid, for kindly inviting me to share a few things here today as well.
You are welcome, Victoria, and thank you so much for these remarks. Now, anybody in the audience that would like to ask, to make any question, or would like to start a discussion on any of the topics that we have we have mentioned today? I don't see, I'm going through all of you to see if I can see any raised hand. Aha, Adi Namaran.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hi, hello, Adi, please. I would appreciate if you could also introduce yourself so that
Okay.
everybody knows who you are.
All right, thank you so much. So my name is Adi. I own a language business in Accra. It's called Bolingo Consult. So we do interpretation and translation for African languages, just like Doniki. So we are in the same industry. I'm really glad to be here. Yes, so my question is for Nadim. He spoke about doing business in Ghana. And I want to know about Spain. Is it easy for foreigners, or let's say Africans or West Africans, to go set up a business in Spain? What are some of the requirements? I know in Ghana it's a bit rigid. You need to have some amount of money, invest amount of money actually. But I want to know the case for Spain. In Rwanda, for instance, it's actually free to create a business, and registration is online and it's just 6 hours. And so just thinking about, what happens in other places as well. Thank you.
Hello, how are you, Adi? Look, just to make it, the registration and these processes in Spain, they're also simple. But first of all, if you want to open a business, and either you are an investor or you are a resident there. So you have that challenge. That is the first challenge as West African and to go into Europe. And the second thing is that it depends on what sort of business. Businesses that are linked with Africa are easier to start because you have a very heads up, and then you also have a competitive advantage on others there. If you want to start a business in terms of it's a very broad question. I'm sorry, but it's so let's say the registration and starting up a business is not complicated in Spain. There are several ways of doing it, and it's really not from a single person business to of course a limited liability or any corporation is not a complicated thing, but you should have the necessary documents. So you cannot just like from here today come and decide to start a business in Spain. You should either be a resident there, or you should have you have invested or done something there for you to start.
All right, thank you very much.
No.
So basically, I believe what Nadim is saying, the registration is not difficult. So the whole process is not complicated. What it is complicated is how to get there, if I understood correctly.
Yes, that is the most challenging part today for somebody from West Africa to start something there.
But that's what we are working for to get there. So medium long term. Is there anybody else who would like to
But there is one thing
comment?
that is important, is that you don't need to go there and establish a business there for you to sell your services there. So we have to understand that if you have some services, sorry, I should have clarified more. If you have services that you want to sell in Europe or in Spain in particular, you don't need to be there always. I mean, depending on the type of service, and you can sell them from here, but you have to open something that works there. So your website should be registered there. You should have all your Google ads and all your market online campaign directed to the audience there, and that's how you will get things. And you can do it from here. You don't need to go there. And you bring some dollars into the country. They are necessary. I hope that answers.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Sorry, I lost connection. That's quite common in my office, despite I have 4 routers with me from 4 different vendors. and I still lost my connection. Anyway, Emmeline, please, you have a question?
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Emmeline from Ghana. Okay, so I am a business consultant. I provide business advisory and SME consultancy for companies, Pan-African companies in Ghana, but we believe strongly in partnerships on a global level. So we also engage ourselves in a lot of trade mission activities where we try to expose local SME leaders in Ghana to international opportunities. So I'd like to know what kind of opportunities exist when it comes to, businesses or Ghanaian businesses here. What are the things that can be explored in Spain that can be, that we could take advantage of, basically? Thank you.
Emmeline, sorry, did you direct your question to any of our speakers or is it in general?
Oh, anyone who can answer, please.
Nadim, would you like to respond, or Rene, would you like to take this one?
I will leave the floor to Rene. I mean, he's also part.
If he's not here,
Yeah, I believe he's. You
yeah.
can maybe you can help on this.
Rafael from Pajares and Asociados is going to come today, but he couldn't make it. He was in the meeting, and they have a similar kind of businesses like Ingrid or Ruby, and they're doing landing pad for, let's say, Spanish side. So there are lots of opportunities. If you would like to find, we can connect you to Pajares and Asociados directly, or you can talk to Ingrid because I guess she knows lots of opportunities here to you.
Yeah.
So
sorry, Yuka. Sorry, yeah. I was just let off here. Just want to add to what Yuka's saying. Is both Yuka and myself are advisors for the Global Chamber here in Barcelona or in Spain. Any inquiry, even if it's not direct in mine or her type of business, throughout our network and throughout the Global Chamber network, as well as other local networks, we will always try and redirect you to the right person. So, if you have any question or any interest about doing business in Spain from Ghana, please don't hesitate to contact us. In fact, as a global advisor, we've had many visits here from traditionally from the United States and Mexico, from Global Chamber members, where Global Chamber already has a very strong position, and I've been able to put them in touch with the right companies if needed, and if I wasn't sure which company I would best put them in contact, I could ask within my network. So don't hesitate to ask them. We will do our best to help you. That's what Global Chamber stands for. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rene. Thank you, Yuka. Ruby?
Yeah, I just want to add on to say that one of the things that Global Chamber is very well known for is providing warm introductions. So I will say that your first point of call should be Gifty, who then will be able to look within the network, the Global Chamber community, to connect it to the right people that can help with your interests. So that is what I wanted to add, that is our strength. So take advantage of the strength that Global Chamber has got to offer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
You.
I don't know if there are any other questions. If not, we have 6 more minutes actually. I would like to call on Cesar. Cesar, I don't know if he can hear me. I believe he's in the room.
Ingrid, I think there's a question in the chat box from Nathan. He says, are there services to deal with language barrier in Spain as well? So that is what I picked.
Can I answer?
Yes, please.
To that question, because I'm from the language industry, like two of you people, and yes, there are lots of language service providers. So please contact us. And Spanish is the second language in the world after Chinese. So if you can translate or interpret into
Sorry, Yuka, sorry. Rene, let's help Yuka and give her 1 minute.
Yeah.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, now. So you can reach lots of people and count on the introduction, like Ruby said. Thank you. Sorry,
Thank you, Yuka. Thank you, Yuka. And Rene, would you like to add something regarding the barriers that we may find in Spain with the languages?
Sure. I guess it's two ways. I mean, of course, there's always a need for translation. I think it depends a little bit in international business. Of course, Spain, the English language is not as widespread or the knowledge as in some other European countries, because as you know, the Spanish language itself is quite strong. And, you know, being a Dutchman myself, when I first moved to Spain, well, the first thing you do when you go to Spain is to learn Spanish, because you're not around. Unlike, let's say, if you would go to Amsterdam or Brussels, with the English language, you can just get by fine. In Spain, that's not the case. You really do need to learn the language as soon as possible and able to get around. But of course, in business circles, it's different. The English language is usually nowadays more and more also spread out, and especially if you are looking at international companies. But it's definitely something that is is much appreciated and a big advantage if you plan to do long-term business with Spain. Definitely.
Thank you so much, Rene. Thank you. Now we are about to close. Cesar, if you're in the room, we would very much appreciate if you could give us the last quick information about the Global Chamber, as well as the closing remarks.
Hi, Ingrid. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not using my video. I'm having some trouble with my equipment today, so I'm glad I was able to at least run the slides. So yes, my name is Cesar Tabanco, VP of Business Services for the Global Chamber, and just want to let everyone who's new to the Global Chamber know that we are an organization with with presence in over 200 cities right now, with active advisors and chapters. And our main goal is, as Ruby mentioned, is working on the warm connections. So if you're doing business, if you're in Ghana and looking to do business, not only in Spain, but in Mexico or Japan or wherever else in the world, that's where we enter into play and help with connections. And besides that, we're doing a load of events. This week is particularly busy. We're doing events now that we're speaking about languages. So we have an event in French tomorrow. We have a meetup, and we have one on Thursday in Portuguese, to give an example. And we're running events in Spanish every month, and so regional events like this one also happen in other parts of the world. So I invite you all to check into our calendar and see what what's going on with the organization. And I'm gonna put my details in the chat. I know Doug, our CEO, was supposed to say a few words, and I don't know. I texted him. I don't know what happened there, but happy to help with any inquiries. Y gracias a todos por unirse hoy. Thank you very much.
That's what I was going to say, that you can contact César as well y podéis hablar con él en español sin ningún tipo de problema. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Thank you so much to everyone. I believe we'll leave it here. It has been a pleasure. And we will see you next month, the last Tuesday of the month at 2 p.m. as every single month for our next event. Thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Adiós.
Thank you.
Adiós.
Y Ruby.
Adios.
Ruby, I'm going to miss your touch.
Adios.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Adios.
Thank you very much. Adios.